Hello everybody, Glass Half Dead here, and welcome back to the ever-shrinking box of, like, this rectangular prison that I'm in that is shrinking every time because I'm trying to not show you the addiction that I have that is ruining. I have a house here, and I can't show it to you because there's Warhammer everywhere. And it's like an episode. Imagine an episode of Hoarders, but they go in and instead of piles of like pizza and human feces, it's Warhammer. That's my room. Anyway, it's been a while since Socal opened, and I never got around to doing a breakdown. I haven't done any interviews. Why is that? Fair question. Well, interviews. I was having a behind the scenes technical issue that is now fixed. I'm going to start contacting people. Hopefully we can get some interviews done. Also, there was an Australian Open that happened. I never got to do an interview for that. I'm going to get that guy in as well, hopefully. And we're getting some more Kill Team tournaments near me, which are, again, big-sized tournaments. And hopefully we get maybe even an in-person interview with somebody that wins that. However, Socal Open. Let's talk about it. So, first things first, up here, we have the from Frontline Gaming article. Sheldon, Kill Team Stream, the guy that hosted it, wrote this. He did a great job. But there are two kind of interesting stats. By all means, go to this place. Google it. There's a link in the description, possibly. Maybe. Check it out. Have a read yourself. But the interesting things are, for both days, Sheldon has given us a list of the factions that were there. And I'm just going to read that to you because that's always fun. So, in first place, this is on the arena day. On the arena day, there were 4 Azayani, 4 Drukhari, 4 Orcs, 3 Adeptus Mechanicus, 3 Astra Militarum, 3 Deathwatch, 3 Tau, 2 Necrons, 2 Tyranids, 1 Gene Stealer Cults, 1 Elicidian Star Riders, 1 Kroot, 1 Adeptus Astartes, 1 Grey Knights, 1,000 Suns. So what were we missing? Harlequins, Demons, Death Guard. My camera froze, but I'm back. So, you got my audio, luckily. That's interesting. I was really expecting Demons to be there. A lot of people were saying how powerful Demons were. I'm surprised Death Guard weren't there. I suspect one of the reasons for no Death Guard might be, so a lot of teams got quite a big buff in Elites and the jump to 125. Death Guard got less of a buff than other teams. However, I feel like Death Guard were pretty dominant at 100 no Elites. So I don't know, maybe it gave Death Guard players like the permission they needed to actually go and, hey, I'm gonna play another faction because now Death Guard aren't overwhelmingly, amazing. Don't know. And why no Harlequins? I'm actually equally surprised about that. But then I guess there have never been like a dominant Harlequin presence. They've been there. They've been strong. At 100 points, no Elites. But I definitely haven't seen them much, I'm going to be honest, after Elites. But that's in Arena. When we go to Open, how do things change? Look at this. What's weird, okay, quick side note, is this, we can't enlarge this picture, but we can by doing this, right? This is the back of my head. I have a scar on the back of my head. I've never been dropped. Oh, I might have been dropped as a baby or something. I don't know. I can't say I've never been dropped. Okay. Wait, I have been dropped. Anyway, okay, day 2. This is the open day. Okay, what do we got? 28 players take the field as opposed to I think it was 34 we had day 1. Yes, 34. So, 28, pretty good still. 4 Drukhari. Hold on, sorry, I've got more to say about this. It was fine to talk about the missing factions. Let's talk about the dominating ones. Azayani, Drukhari, and Orcs. How do we feel about that? I don't know, man. Okay, so Drukhari are a strong team. However, I know that so one of the Drukhari there, you tie my shoes from the Discord, he was running witches only, I believe. I believe the others were rack spam. To be clear, when I say rack spam, I literally just mean it has a rack in it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really mean spam. It's just a derogatory term for it. So, you know, that's understandable. I think one of the good things about the Azayani is they are actually quite a varied faction. You can come up against multiple different lists. You're always going to have some mainstays. The X-Archers are really strong. But, for example, you know, there might be a strong competitive list without any Striking Scorpions in. Whereas another one will be a strong competitive list with Striking Scorpions. One person might not take any Dire Avengers, whilst the other doesn't take any Guardians. And they only take not Striking Scorpions. What are they called? The crappy guys, the cheap ones that are like 6 points. Storm Guardians, yes. So I think Azayani are actually a really diverse faction, which is cool. Hashtag forced diversity. Drukhari, yeah. Orcs. So Orcs are an interesting one, again, because you have a pretty dominant build, but then you also have weird ones. I know that at least one of the Orc players, and possibly two, had shooting Orcs as a possibility in their list. I don't know if they took them, but they were there. And then anyway, the bottom half of the list, where we just get 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, kind of interesting. I'm surprised only 2 Tyranids. Yeah, okay. Right. Open board. This time we have 4 Drukhari and 4 Admech. That was weird. Admech just came out of nowhere there. Although I suppose, to be fair, on tournament day, arena day, there were 3 Admech. Okay, it's not that weird. And I know actually that one of the Orc players from day 1 came back as Admech, so maybe that explains that. So 4 Drukhari, 4 Admech, those are the 2 4s. 3 Adepts Astartes, 3 Orcs, 2 Astra Militarum, 2 Deathwatch, 2 Tyranids, 2 Azayani, 2 Tau, 1 Necrons, 1 Kroot, 1 Grey Knights, 1,000 Suns. So the Grey Knight player and the 1,000 Suns player repping their factions both days, because that's how you have to roll when you have psychic powers, I guess. I don't know. The Kroot player, I know, we met him. He had wanted to run a different faction on day 2, but I can't remember which faction, and I believe he felt he wouldn't have been able to get them painted on time, and he'd rather bring a painted faction than an unpainted faction. But the Kroot didn't do terribly, so interesting. Is there anything else to note there? So, not really. It's actually a more diverse field, day 2. Don't really know why, don't know if that tells us anything. But this is the rest of Sheldon Kill Team Streams thing. This is me. I think I'm confused here. Or I'm looking... probably teabags, I don't know. What do the English look at? I don't know. Teabags. That's Alex looking very authoritative. I'm probably tuned out. I don't know. And yeah, definitely go and check out that article. It was a good read. He breaks down a few things and just says how the tournament was. But we have some interesting stuff. Ignore that. Ignore all of that. Here we go. So, this is where we get to the roster breakdown portion. Sorry it's taken so long. First to get here in the video, hopefully I will give you a time stamp to say, hey, go check out the rosters at this point. Also, you might notice that this is a really low quality picture. That's because I had to get it off the BCP app. BCP is not a great app, guys. I'm going to be honest. Like, they could do a few improvements in really basic stuff, but it is what it is. Now, you may have noticed, guys, that if you've tried to look around to find these rosters, really difficult. But I'm doing it for you. I'm helping you out. If you want to help me out, I do now have a Patreon. Currently, there is no benefit to signing up to my Patreon, but that will soon change and there will be benefits. I'm just saying, you know, if you want to inspire me to get this kind of content to you a bit faster, maybe Patreon's a good way of doing it. And soon there will be benefits to giving that. It's only $1. I put in the minimum amount I could. $1 do. That's all I ask. Anyway, so first up we have the arena day. And we have Michael T. Holy's list. He came first. He took Azayani. You probably cannot read this list because of how terrible the resolution is. So I'm going to read it for you. Can I zoom in? No. Alright, fine. Okay. Let's take a look. He only has a single leader model on this list. And it's a Guardian Defender. So whatever he was doing, he was taking that Guardian Defender. He only has a single comms on the list, which is a Dire Avenger. Interesting. Interesting choice. Obviously, a lot of people know that you can take a Guardian Defender comms, and that can be the one guy that kind of operates your heavy weapons platform. He does it all. You don't have to mess around with a second model. It does make your heavy weapons platform naturally quite fragile, because you just have to kill one Guardian and it's done, but he put it on the Dire Avenger. Interesting choice. Then, again, only one combat and one zealot. The combat is a striking scorpion with a biting blade, okay? And the zealot is a howling banshee with a power sword. So he didn't go for the, I think it's executioner blade, is it? The executioner? Didn't do that. Then he has 3 options for a veteran model. He's got a Howling Banshee Exarch with Executioner, or a Howling Banshee Exarch with Mirror Swords, or a Striking Scorpion, just with Shuriken Pistol, Scorpion Chainsword. Now, that's quite an interesting choice to have a Striking Scorpion as a veteran option, because of course, typically, you know, if you were going to play a Striking Scorpion, you'd probably want that to be deep striking. So why have it as a veteran? You know, he's a better player than I am. And I have no doubt that is there for a very specific reason. Anyone that has tried to, you know, come up with a roster for a high model count faction knows that every single spot is a premium. And he had that in there for a specific matchup. 100%. I don't know what that matchup was, but it was there for a reason. Okay, he then had a Dire Avenger Exarch with 2 Avenger Shuriken Catapults. That's the only way you're going to run a Dire Avenger Exarch. Yeah, technically it's not, but in reality it is. Guys, at 125, roster building gets tight. The other options are so subpar for the Dire Avenger Exarch. Unless you're doing some fluffy theme thing, or you have a really specific plan, you're not going to be taking that. Then he's got 2 Flamers, 2 Fusion Guns on the Storm Guardian Gunners there. Makes sense. You know, 2 great models. Little side note, the Azayani Storm Guardian Gunner with Fusion Gun, most effective Fusion Gun in the game for points. And then the rest of his list are Storm Guardians, Shuriken Pistol, Chainswords, and Dire Avengers with the Avenger Shuriken Catapults, obviously. So I suppose the only other thing to add on there is he only took 2 possible Guardian Defenders. I also suspect he took those 2 Guardian Defenders in every list. I don't know, but that would definitely be my guess. Hold on. Oh, okay. I was going to say, he doesn't have a heavy weapons platform. He does. One of the big changes that he made this time, compared to the previous times we've seen him, is he has a single star cannon. That's it. He doesn't have the options to take, you know, Shuriken Laser, anything else. It's just star cannon. Next up, we have Stephen Pochel, or Paco, I don't know. Let's go Pochel. I played against him. Strong player. Not as strong as me, of course. Of course. But he knows what he's doing. I can say that much. Let's go. He came second. So, leader could only possibly be a Night Fiend. Oh, so he's playing Drakari, and he's doing rack spam. Specialists: an Akathist, Flesh Gauntlet, Stinger Pistol. Oh, Prophets of Flesh, obviously. Does it even need to be said? Only 10 points there. Obviously, that's his cheaper option. But what would that be? So, in this particular list, although it's listed that as a specialist option, it hasn't told us what specialist. Oh, that's a medic, sorry. Medic. So, obviously, a medic, for those of you that don't know, you can, for 1 CP, you can do a stim shot, and that gives you +1 inch to the charge and +1 strength on the attack, or on that round. So, potentially very useful. And do note that a medic can stim shot themselves. Then he has an Akathist at 16 points with an electric corrosive whip and a liquefier gun. Unfortunately, thanks to BCP, we don't know what specialism that guy was going to be. Yeah, I mean that's a really strong model. Like, that's going to kill some stuff. Liquefier gun, very useful. Electric corrosive whip does some damage. He then has a grotesque as a combat. Grotesque, 38 points. It's a super niche model. We all know the current issues with, you know, when should you actually take a model above 20 points, right? Above 25 points. It's a real big ask. I mean, I guess if you're Custodes, right? I don't know. Maybe then. Anyway, he never took it. I happen to know that he never took the grotesque. Apart from when he faced me, and that was why he lost. Don't take the grotesque. Such a shame, because it's such a cool model, awesome rules, just doesn't hold its own weight. Unless you're thinking of doing a serious hold the middle, but also kill stuff in the middle. Because otherwise you probably just take racks again. If you just need to hold the middle, you just take racks. Anyway, he then has a Clavex as a Zealot. Nice. And a Rack Gunner with Liquefier Gun as a demo. Good choices. 2 Mandrakes. Everything else racks. Then 1 Rack Gunner with a Liquefier Gun. Cool. I think that's a relatively standard rack spam list. I don't know if he ever took, you know, Deep Struck the Mandrakes. Oh wait, well this, of course he didn't. This was Arena Day, so that's not even a thought. I wonder if he ever ran the Mandrakes. I'm sure he did, but I can't recall. Okay, up next we have number 3, came 3rd on Arena Day, which is Luke. I'm gonna mess up the second name as always. Sienna? Skiana? Sienna? I don't know. Tau. This is what you'd expect. It's also super bad quality, thanks BCP. So I'm going to very quickly go over this one because even I am struggling to read it. So the leader was a Pathfinder, Shasui. Yep. 2 options for veteran, either a Pathfinder or a stealth battlesuit. And then a sniper in a demo, railgun, rail rifle, that's the word, and then just a regular rail rifle. Then he had 1 more stealth battlesuit. Oh, sorry, the first veteran battlesuit could take a fusion blaster. The regular battlesuit, burst cannon. He actually has 3 fire warriors on the list and a DS8 tactical support turret. Interesting. I'd be quite interested to know if Luke there actually took and had good luck with the DS8 turret. I do remember people saying, oh, I sniped their leader turn 1 with my indirect fire, but I can't remember if it was in Socal. Yeah, so it might have been Luke that managed to pull that off. Anyway, everything else is gun drones, recon drones, is that a grav drone? Yes, that's a grav drone, and 2 shield drones. I don't know when he took what. I suspect that in arena, honestly, you could probably just drown the board out with shield drones. But we've talked about kind of the standard tower list quite frequently. We haven't talked about them in arena, so it might actually be quite interesting to see when things were actually useful. You know, what was the were the stealth suits used more often than in open? Were we using fire warriors purely to open doors? Don't know. But then if we were using fire warriors, why not use pathfinders? Anyway. And then we have Birinid's Gene Stealer Cults list. Now, I included this as the fourth place, mainly because he has an interesting list that people haven't run with Gene Stealer Cults before, and people have been asking, what did he run? And I did say it, but I only said it. I didn't show it and read it off properly. So, Neophyte Leader. Oh, okay, so the whole scheme here, guys, is you want to take Twisted Helix, because it gives you +2 to your advanced move. It also gives you +1 to your strength, but that's kind of... It didn't have to give you that. He still would have taken it. This is all about getting your guys to move quickly. So, you take as many Neophyte hybrids with the shotguns as possible. That's how you fill out the list. But first, you take a Neophyte Leader with Chainsword, Web Pistol, because it's free. Then an Aberrant with Power Pick. A specific Acolyte Fighter, a named one called Groused Ghoul. Basically, he's just an Acolyte Fighter with a heavy rock saw, but he can be a veteran. That's all you need to know. And then a Neophyte Gunner with Flamer. I'm not sure if he was taking the Flamer every time. Oh, as a scout, apparently. But yeah, there you go. Cool. I'm also not sure if he took the Aberrant every time. I'm mildly surprised he took the Power Pick. On paper, the Power Hammer is better, and Birin's the kind of guy that likes paper. Okay, and going on to day 2, I'm going to try and power through this, guys. Power through. I'm going to get some kind of eye strain doing this, but I'm doing it for you guys. So, day 2, open boards. Player numero uno was Orcs. Interesting. Now, it should be noticed, I did have a very quick interview done in one of my previous videos with the winner here. I hope to get him back on. He doesn't know that yet. I should probably contact him before I say this kind of crap, but whatever. Okay, so he only has a single leader option, which is a grot. He has 2 combat options, one a boss knob, with combi weapon Scorcher, Power Claw, and one with just Power Claw, so no Scorcher. Interesting. Demo is a Burner Boy. Makes sense. Then a heavy, which is actually a flash kit with Snaz Gun Chopper. Interesting. I don't know if he ever ran the flash kit. I'd be interested to know. I kind of want to say he didn't. That might have been there as a fake out. Not sure. Then he has 2 veteran options, one of them being a knob for a whopping 24 points here. Combi weapon, Scorcher, Big Chopper. 24 points, jeez. And then the other option is, again, just as he's done with the combat, he's giving you the veteran options as just expensive option, cheap option, which is just knob with the Big Chopper. Cool. I don't know what he was actually running. When he chose to swap in or swap out one of the expensive versions versus the non-expensive versions. Because every time you bump up to that expensive version, you're losing a boy. Everything else was just boys. There you go. He did have 2 burner boys, 3 commandos, one of them being a commando boss knob, and he does have a mega knob on the list. He never took the mega knob, I believe. He's running the mega knob there. 2 kill saws. I'm gonna guess that was a psych out, kind of like the flash kit. I don't know, but it seems that way. Also, he was obviously running Evil Sun's Why do I say obviously? Because Evil Sons gives you +1 to your movement characteristic, and then it also gives you +1 to your advance or +1 to your charge, which means from the base 5-inch movement of all orcs, you are essentially getting +2 inches to your move, whatever you do. Unless you only move, then you only get +1. But if you advance or charge, you're +2 inches. So it's +1 to your characteristic, take you to 6, and then +1. It makes orcs really fast. Very strong. Okay, and now we have an interesting list. Again, I have been over this briefly before. I think with a better quality picture. Don't know where that went. This is the number 2 player. Or finalist. Michael T. Holy once again. On day 2 in the arena, and not in the open worlds, we've got his Adepts Astartes list. First thing, he's running White Scars. White Scars, I believe, I should probably have checked, give you 2 inches extra to your advance move, making you very fast. So, what does he have? His only possible leader option was Scout with a bolt gun. Okay. He has 2 demo options, one being a Scout with a heavy bolter, the other being a Sternguard gunner with grav cannon and grav amp. Now the demo on that makes sense because it can only ever be strength 5, which means you are never doubling any other model out. Therefore, you'll be taking a 3 down to a 2. A solid choice. Interestingly, he doesn't have either of them as heavies. You know, when we're always talking about Kill Team, we're talking about how important movement is. Obviously, movement allows you to get that move without the penalty to hit. I guess he doesn't, he's cool with it. He's like, yeah, whatever. He has 1 veteran option, which was a Vanguard with a Relic Blade and Storm Shield. Oh no, sorry, he's got 2 veteran options. And then the other one is a Vanguard's... Sorry, they're both Vanguard Sergeants. One has a Relic Blade and Storm Shield. One just has a Relic Blade bolt pistol. Okay. Interesting choice. I seem to recall on the day his veteran was modelled. Relic Blade, I remember. But it was definitely modelled with a jump pack. But I'm not seeing that on the list. So maybe that was just modelled for fun. Don't know. A potential combat, he's got a Reaver Sergeant with Bolt Carbine Combat Knife. A potential Sniper, Tactical Sergeant, Combi Plasma. And, 2 other potential combats. Intercessor with Bolt Rifle. And Vanguard Veteran with Grav Pistol and Lightning Claws. I think taking the Intercessor as combat there is really odd. I don't know why he would ever do that. I think that's going to be my official pick for that's weird, I don't get it, please tell me why. Then the other models are a Veteran Sergeant with Storm Bolter, Storm Shield, Chainsword, that's an expensive model. A Intercessor Sergeant with Power Sword and Bolt Rifle. A Sternguard Sergeant with Special Issue Bolt Gun, Lightning Claw, Chainsword. Company Veteran, Flamer, Chainsword. Company Veteran, Flamer, Chainsword. Another Intercessor with Bolt Rifle. A Company Veteran with Grav Gun and Chainsword. A Company Veteran with Storm Bolter, Chainsword. And 2 more Scouts with Bolt Pistols, Combat Knives. I believe he took the Combi Plasma in every match as a sniper. I guess kind of the only little tidbit of information I can give you here, obviously you can dissect this thing for yourself and say, I think this is why he did that, is I believe he never overcharged his plasma. Camera died again. It's possible that my behind the scenes issues have not yet been fixed. Anyway, back to it. So I believe that he never overcharged his plasma. His reasoning being that why would he first off ever risk his own guy rolling a double 1, killing himself, when you may as well just save the reroll which you're spending CP for on the injury roll. Because otherwise you'd have to spend 2 CP to death deny your guy dying. That's just the way it is. And actually, in definitely day 1, I believe day 2 as well, Alex, who was running AdMech, proved this by his plasma guys killed themselves in like every game. It was ridiculous. Anyway, that's an interesting White Scars list. Let's move on. In third place, we have the Azayani. This time ran by Janice. Leader, only one leader. Storm Guardian. Oh, Ulthway, by the way. Ulthway is the new way of running Eldar, if you didn't know. Then Die Avenger Exarch, 2 Avenger Shark and Catapults as a veteran. Yep. Guardian Defender as comms. Yep. Howling Banshee Exarch as Zealot with Executioner. Striking Scorpion Exarch, Scorpion Chainsword, Scorpion's Claw, 7 points as combat. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Dire Avengers, another Guardian Defender, and 2 heavy weapons platforms, one being Star Cannon, one being Shuriken Cannon, a Howling Banshee, 4 Storm Guardians, and a Striking Scorpion, and a Wraith Blade with Ghost Axe and Force Shield. Now, we know from Nova that Janice actually did use her Wraith Blade in one game. I believe she did not this time. I can't be sure of that. Also, slight difference being that obviously today this was an open board. The time she used it in Nova, I believe it was Arena. I've kind of already covered this a bit. Again, Storm Guardians with 2 Flames, 2 Fusions. Brilliant models. Dire Avengers. Yep. Again, this could have been a very diverse list to go up against. I don't know what she was running. I know that one time when she played Michael, she ran 2 Striking Scorpions, deep struck them. They did nothing. One of them got shot off as soon as it landed. The other survived a turn to only die the next turn. Very unfortunate. And then finally in 4th place for day 2, we have Luke Sienna. Again, with, I'm going to say, the same list. I'm going to say the same list. But it's not. No, it is. I'm going to say it is. Yeah. I've already discussed this. We know Tau pretty strong. Cool. Yeah, there's not really too much to be said there. I would be interested to see if he actually ran any shield drones, purely out of curiosity. But apart from that, it's all good. Anyway, everybody, sorry that this took so long to get out there. Behind the scenes issues. Hopefully that is fixed, but obviously not quite yet. Anyway, quick question. Obviously, every time I go over a list, I'm giving super, quite quick, generic overviews. I don't know what the person actually ran. Is there anyone from Socal that you specifically want to see have an interview with? Preferably from a faction that I haven't interviewed a player for before, because that's quite interesting. So maybe Alex, because we haven't had an AdMech chat before, and I do know AdMech quite well, and I believe that me and Alex have slightly different views on AdMech, so it'd be interesting to see that. Anybody else? What are your thoughts? I will start reaching out to people, see if they want to come on, have a chat about Socal, or any other tournaments that have happened in the meantime. Again, if you want these things to happen faster, you can have your voice heard by donating a little bit of money to me on Patreon. Anyway, this has been Glass Half Dead. I hope you've had a good day and continue to have a good day. Goodbye.